This is part 2, module 2 of energy tokenization. In the first part we looked at the energy as package and how you can tokenize it. In this video we are going to look in how to use it. Specifically we're going to explore what the ecosystem would look like if we use tokens. So I've depicted a number of scenarios. So let's first start with the position that a prosumer can have as someone that has a home with a rooftop solar panel for supply and use an electrical vehicle which can remotely be controlled. We also have two types of generators here. One is a generator only creates renewable energy and they have a very small capacity of supplying flexible energy, and a traditional generator using fossil fuels to generate the energy and has a larger flex supply capability. And we have a consumer without a rooftop solar, and that consumer is going for the lowest prices possible for consumption of its energy. In the first scenario, if I'm a prosumer, then my retailer is selling me my energy for my home consumption, but when there is an excess of energy during the middle of the day, on a sunny day, there will be an infeed into the grid. And now I'm able to have the retailer buy back the energy generated into his portfolio. The supply and buyback is used to present just exchanging tokens for the amounts of energy that are being here into play. In the second scenario reflects a collective wind generator. So let's assume that two consumers pool together and install the wind turbine. So a wind turbine is then collectively owned. And these consumers have invested themselves into the wind turbine, so it's likely that they have the first right to consume that energy themselves. So when they consume energy, they use tokens from the wallet of the wind turbine, but then if there is not enough supply by the wind turbine because the wind is not blowing or the collective consumption outperforms the generation, then each of the consumer has its own secondary supply by traditional retailers. The shortage of energy then is being supplied by the retailer of choice. But in case that the wind turbine generates more energy than the consumers can consume, then there is a trade to an external party X to buy the infeed into the grid. Another quite similar case could be in an apartment building with a collective rooftop photovoltaic system. So there, more or less the same structure as in scenario 2. There is a rooftop solar setup generating energy, and we assume that there is some generic consumption by the building for the elevator, for the safety systems, for the water pumps, all those facilities associated with running the building. These services will be powered by the rooftop, and some consumers that are at home during the day can consume the energy as well. There is also a second line of suppliers, A, B and C, needed in case there is no solar generation due to overcloud conditions, in order for the building to operate. We have the same as in the wind turbine, that party X buys the infeed in case excess of generation of electricity where there are not that many people at home able to consume the solar energy when it's generated. As shown in the previous examples, there are quite some new business models possible, which means that the current way of selling energy can change from over-the-counter power purchase agreements to different markets. There is also a new opportunity by bundling energy in one or two parts, the energy consumption and the energy flexibility, and the last two you want to trade on the market to benefit from market volatility. But you can also bundle the energy with appliances, like for instance a close-in boiler. You no longer buy a boiler, but you buy hot water as a service, where the energy is bundled with the boiler. Last but not least, I think there is an opportunity for energy insurance that removes the customer from financial risk while becoming a renewable energy balance responsible party, which is needed for these use cases. Now the next steps are here for you if you want to embark on a similar project yourself. I think the grand challenge is to create an emergent effect, such that we make sure that we do not break the grid by overloading it or unbalancing it. And also we want to have the gradually introduced into the system, so we don't need a big bang by adding the tokenizations. Ideally, it should accelerate the energy transition and it should ensure the affordability and stable energy supply. If you want to embark on such a challenge, I think you need to form a coalition, because it requires quite a number of different expertise that you need to have in your team in order to make it a success. Create a story for your concept so each stakeholder can understand what you're up to. And then build a prototype to test it. Be agile, get it in front of actual users as soon as possible to validate all your assumptions. So in this video, you learned how digital tokens-based solutions can look like in the energy sector and a generic approach for the digital token initiatives. This concludes Module 2. In the next and last module, we're going to dive into an actual use case which is currently being worked on in the Netherlands.